welcome. This is Ayana Lahi, and I'm so very happy to greet you and welcome you to Be One, Be You. In this week's episode, we are diving into the topic, the male inner battle. Yes, men and women both have their own particular battles that are universal and also very individualized and personal. Your masculine archetype is an expression of who you are. There is a place in your mind that is the deep psyche. It is the part of your mind that's deeply connected to your soul, the soul being the essence of who you are. In our journey of being human, we leave oneness, and the journey is back to oneness. To travel on this journey, we experience duality. We experience polarities, contrasts, and opposites of who we are. Understanding and knowing your inner feminine, your inner masculine is crucial for awakening into your true self. Your true masculinity is mastered after you open to your inner feminine. You don't have to do anything on the outside, but just go on the inside. Because inside is that very tender, powerful, gentle, strong, intuitive, logical boy who probably received just a small percentage of training to help you become whole. You were probably pushed, pulled to excel in certain things, certain ways. Some of you tried really hard. Others of you gave up. Some of you really cared what others thought, and some of you didn't care at all because no one really cared. The inner battle inside begins with two parts. One part who is terrified of life and terrified of making mistakes, terrified of being judged, criticized, judged, and lives in that fear. And the other part who patterns itself after a parent who is truly aware of who they are, or fabricating a personality self to make themselves believe that they know who they are, and then that's put on you, and it's projected out onto you, and you learn to do the same thing. You create the facade, you create the tapestry of your being that has contrasts and fears. And you try really hard to make it through the contrasts and trying to be who you think you need to be. And some make it through that hoop and others don't. And life becomes challenging. And then you work harder to become the image, the personality self, so that you feel that you have the ability to make it. And then you make it, and then what happens? There's a battle that begins to erupt inside, and most of the teachings, social teachings, philosophical teachings, religious teachings are just telling you to push it all aside, turn to God and trust, have faith. I'm talking about turning to the light within, the truth of who you are. That's how you find your way through the maze, through the separate selves, until you realize that you're God, that you are that essence of love. And to get there means that you are very courageous. And that's the first requirement. Whether hero, warrior, savior, lover, thinker, feeler, or true self, or false self, your life is the journey through the contrasts and opposites that battle within you. Coming to peace, real peace, happens through coming into the center point where these two parts of you have been in conflict. All of that is taught in all of the Spirit Gateways courses and trainings. You have to know what the battle is first. You have to understand where the battle came from. The battle usually begins in a past lifetime through self-judgment, criticism, not meeting the expectations that you so wanted to meet, feeling let down, that you couldn't accomplish what you really wanted to accomplish. It takes a man of immense integrity to face the inner battle. We don't see a lot of role models out there yet. We will. Live without judgment on yourself and with others. Find the you that could not exist, that did not feel safe being in your body. The you who is not heard or seen or received, and embrace him. Get to know him, write with him. Have a special notebook, get to know him. Ask him what he needs you to know about him. Ask him what he wished he could have told his parents. Pay attention to how you reject him and make the decision to open and receive him with all of your heart. When the ego steps in, the part of you that has created a personality self, that facade, who thinks he is who he is because of everything he knows and everything that he does, and yet doesn't have a clue about who you are. Who you are, you had to leave that, give that desire up, or hold on to it with a thin thread to allow the ego to fulfill everything that was being asked of you to fulfill as you were growing up and grew up, but always doubted if you were doing a good enough job. As a little kid, most of the time when the ego is created through your own psyche, the part of you that doesn't believe you can do what's being asked of you, that it wouldn't be good enough, that you wouldn't be loved enough. And that's the development of the ego self. So you have to mend the battle. You have to. You have to come out of the battle. Look at the world. It's one big battlefield out there. Your battle is a sacred teaching. It's a zone where the only war that should be done in life is getting through the war we have going inside of ourself. The male battle is working, opening, discovering honoring, treasuring the male that is the true you, not the pretend male, not the one who knows it all or feels he needs to, or the little boy inside who's still a little boy and he can't grow up because you were raised to be a little boy. No one taught you how to step into your own skin. No one taught you that you had a wild man inside, a wild side that had to connect with nature, with source, to hear and feel the wind, to hear spirit move through your whole being, to write to spirit, to hear its song through your heart and to sing it, to allow your body to be the container, the temple, the sanctuary for you, the soul. As the soul you are, the divine feminine, divine masculine, conscious of itself, coming back together again so that your mind and your body become one through your inner masculine and inner feminine ending its battle. You have to know what you thought about your inner feminine growing up, what you felt about your inner masculine. When was the last time you laid on the grass and looked at the sky and watched the clouds go by? When was the last time you took a long hike and you sat on a rock, on a cliff overlooking, and listened and felt yourself and welcomed you into your body and paid attention to the you who always had another thought fly through your mind, something you had to do? But to come through the battle, you have to stop the doing. You have to be with you. And you have to face it. You have to pay attention to everything your father could not do. And somehow you were supposed to figure it all out. You have to figure out how you were blocked in your own masculine energies so that you can find them for yourself. And you have to be willing to pay attention to how your own insecurities pop up and create your own ego voice that needs to be recognized and acknowledged. And what happens in you when your own self-identity is crushed, questioned, demoralized? What happens when you need to change careers? What happens in you? Where do you turn? Do you become the little boy again? Forever? Or is a phase of rediscovering you, but coming from the loving inner father, so that the inner father within you, the you who is the compassionate support for you, is grown. We all have to find the inner father, the inner mother. You must find your inner mother to mother yourself. You must find your inner father to encourage and support you, to give you that confidence, to trust the way that your relationship with your own whole self through your body, recognizing your feeling self as being sacred and understanding the emotions that are inside of you that may not feel very good, that you'd like to run from, all came into existence because you had to please others. You had to fulfill expectations. And unless you did, you were called out. We live in an amazing time. The external masculine paradigm that cut out the feminine is shifting and changing and crashing. Crashing meaning deconstructing, needing to find a new balance. That new balance happens first inside of you. It's such an amazing gift. So amazing. And yes, women have their inner battle. It's just as intense as a man's inner battle. As man and woman both come into sacred union within themselves, sacred union in a relationship, same sex, opposite sex becomes possible. Without one's own sacred union within, and one is coming through their own interpretation of being important. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, no, I'm that. When that dies, and you realize that you are who you are, not needing to hold on to an identity, the inner warrior comes forth through forgiving yourself for being off track. And you stand in your connection to source within you, the divine current that moves you into being all that you are, the divine current that makes you all that you are. This is beyond what you believe. What I'm sharing with you is who you become, and connecting into the root, the source, the essence of the seed of life. As the masculine ray of energy, you are holding space for others to change, to feel safe, to feel stable, to feel secure, to help the world move through the states of separation that it's presently living in. That beginning happens in you, with you, where you are ending how you separate from yourself and coming into you. Thus, your inner battle in your masculine parts can heal. It begins to shift through recognizing yourself at different ages and what happened to you, how you shifted off of yourself and became your own interpretation. You wrote a story that you lived in. To bust through the story is the journey. In the Spirit Gateway's signature program, Spirit Gateway's Passport, Men's Enlightening is one of the modules, and it goes really deep into every aspect of your liberation in a male body. Your path is here now. There is no external path to be seeking. Your path is here right now. Your path opens as you turn to face what hurts the most and embrace him and love him and receive him. And every time you discover a part of you that is hurt, bring him into your heart. But you've got to expand your heart. Let your heart grow wider, deeper, higher. So there's more heart for you to receive you, because God's source is moving in your heart. And as a masculine ray, love is what you are here to find. Love is what you are here to give. Love is here what you're here to make happen, to make possible in your life, the life of those you love, your partner's life, and in the world. I invite you to check out my website, Ayana Lahi, IANALAHI.com. Welcome to Spirit Gateways. Check out the free gifts that you receive when you subscribe, and I promise won't ever sell your email or bombard you with unnecessary stuff. I'm here to help you open the doors to walk through those gates in yourself, to find your true self, and to know why you're here and how to live in connection with the true you, while you are personally and universally living in connection to all that you are, embracing all of you. Sending you much love. Thanks for being here with all of us. Holding you in great light. May the light shine brightly within you. Until next time, this is Ayana Lahi.